Hey, Pro-Life Jen, welcome to this How to Win the Debates episode of the Explicitly Pro-Life podcast. Yeah, as you know, these are my shorter podcast episodes where I kind of go through some apologetics. Hopefully that will help you win the debates, whether on social media or in person. You know, those loving, calm, rational debates you're having. I want to talk about the stages of fetal development. A couple of months ago, back in the fall, you remember that article from The Guardian? It claims to be a news outlet, but is really just schlepping for the abortion industry. They put out this nonsense defense of abortion by flashing a picture and saying, this is what pregnancy tissue looks like. This article, you may not think would have been like a big deal, just like one article in this like crappy British newspaper. It went viral. Our regional coordinators on every campus were having students thrusting pictures of this pregnancy tissue in their face and saying, see, it's not a baby. What the Guardian did was a little inaccurate. Call it misinformation, if you will. I'm okay with calling it misinformation because it was tissue from a pregnancy, like placental tissue. But what they failed to mention is they removed the human child from the petri dish. So there was no human child. So yes, that tissue was pregnancy tissue, but there was something and someone missing from that tissue that had been removed. And this article went everywhere. So this is what a baby, I'm going to show you what they showed us. Now, this is what a baby at 8 weeks in utero actually looks like. All right, so not the same thing at all. Like the picture from The Guardian looks like a jellyfish or like a wet napkin. The baby is clearly not looking like a jellyfish or a wet napkin in 8 weeks. So this is just absolutely crazy. I think it's also important, those too, sometimes I've had students recently on a college campus who brought a picture of an embryo in the womb, and it was an embryo of a dolphin. A fetus dolphin, and said, look at this. Is this a human being? And I knew that like they act like I have been doing this. And I don't do this for a living. I debate with pro-abort people all the time. I was like, well, it's definitely a human, entity in the womb. It's definitely a fetus or an embryo in the womb, but I don't know what species that embryo is. I don't know if it's a human or it could be another mammal. And I kind of deflated the pro-abortion person. But sometimes people will say, well, because the dolphin at the early stage of life looks like the human, therefore the human isn't human and doesn't have value. That's scientifically not true. At the moment of conception, you were you. You were a member of the human species, the human race. You were genetically distinct. No other person ever existed just like you. And you had value because human beings are created in the image of God, and therefore have value. That's where we get our value from. So as much as the abortion lobby may try to lie with misinformation of what napkins or jellyfish looking tissue, or try to stump you with images of a dolphin, which we love dolphins, that doesn't negate the fact that what is inside of a human mother is a human child, and that human child has intrinsic worth and dignity. So I'm going to go through just a little bit of some what I find to be interesting fetal development facts, and maybe it will help you next time you're having a conversation with friends or family. At 4 weeks, that's a month after conception, your baby's heart, brain, and lungs have already begun forming. Between that 4 to 8 weeks period, so this is like where most abortions happen in like 6 to 12 weeks, okay? Your baby will grow to be an inch long, develop arms, legs, muscles, and skin. If you could see your child, you'll notice that their head is much bigger than the rest of the body because your baby's brain is actually growing faster than any other organ. Between this time, it's when you can hear the heartbeat. It can be detected by a transvaginal ultrasound. And this is why, we have been saying in the pro-life movement that, insisting that anyone running for president, anyone running for office should be able to at least agree that signing a National Heartbeat Abortion Prevention Act should be the bare minimum of what the pro-life movement is requiring from our elected officials. So from 9 to 12 weeks, still in that first trimester, the majority of abortions are being committed. Your baby's facial features become more defined. the baby starts to form hair, nails, and teeth buds. Their digestive system starts functioning, and they begin swallowing amniotic fluid at 12 weeks of gestation. Another really cool part of this point of development that I read a few years ago that always sticks with me. A woman, her eggs, if she's a woman, we all know what a woman is, right? We've gone over that before. If she is a woman, all the eggs that she'll ever have in her ovaries for the rest of her life are already there. That's like amazing. 13 to 16 weeks. So this is right after the first trimester. A lot of abortions still happen this time period. We know Planned Parenthood and the abortion lobby actually are prescribing chemical abortion pills, even though they're only allowed up until 11 weeks. They're actually prescribing chemical abortion pills well beyond that. We've sadly seen the pictures from young women who will show us the pictures of their child they aborted in their toilet, who is much bigger than an 11-week child. Between 13 to 16 weeks, your preborn child can actually taste the flavors of your amniotic fluid, which can be influenced by your diet as the mother. The baby's movements become coordinated. They can suck their thumb, yawn, and make facial expressions. The earliest we believe that a child can feel pain is at 12 and a half, 13 weeks. And that was a study a couple years ago that came out in a well-known a journal of medicine here in the United States. And it was a pro-choice and a pro-life researcher who together wrote this article. And because the child's nervous system isn't actually fully developed, they actually argued that the child feels more intense pain because the child can't localize where the pain is taking place. They feel the pain throughout their body. 17 to 20 weeks. This is a really interesting time period. Children who have been diagnosed in the womb and with spina bifida, at 18 weeks, they can actually, they will give the child pain medicine and anesthesia. They can operate on the child, partially deliver the child, correct the defect in the spine, and then put the child back into the mother's womb to further gestate until their birthday. Amazing. 17, 20 weeks, the baby's heart starts to develop. The baby's hearing starts to develop, and the baby can actually hear sounds. Your baby can hear sounds, including your own voice, moms. Their eyes begin to open, and they can start see light filtering through the womb. At 21 to 24 weeks. Now, many states, even Democrat states, prevent abortions at 21 weeks, not Minnesota, New York, California, Illinois, the evil ones don't. But most of them say, okay, at 6 months, children have been born alive and survived. They're called premature children. I think the youngest child to ever survive was like 21 weeks and like 6 days. As medical technology gets better and better, hopefully we'll be able to move that time period down. But so sadly, though, in many states, Colorado, New Mexico, California, New York, Illinois, I think Massachusetts now, Minnesota, Vermont, they all allow abortions past this time period. But 21 and 24 weeks, your child's grip becomes strong and they can actually grasp objects such as their umbilical cord. They can hiccup and they're the size of a pomegranate fruit. At 25 to 28 weeks, the baby is very active, moving vigorously, responding to sounds and touch. Loud noises can make your child kick. The mother can, obviously can feel the child. During this period, your baby's eyelids will also open and their baby can start to blink. The sense of smell starts to develop. Studies have shown that the amniotic fluid can carry scents from the mother's diet and surroundings, which the fetus can smell and remember. At 29 to 32 weeks, the baby's brain continues to develop and starts to form memories. And they're actually fully formed at this point, and all they're doing is further developing their lungs and growing fat and getting a little chubby little baby. So human biology is amazing. Don't let anyone tell you what is inside of a woman is a parasite, is nothing, and that suddenly 6 inches of the vaginal canal a baby makes. It does not. Hey, Pro-Life Jen, June 24th, 2023 is going to be an amazing day. Why? Because we are going to be celebrating the 1-year anniversary of the Dobbs Supreme Court decision, which threw Roe versus Wade onto the ash heap of history. So Our team at Students for Life, our friends at Live Action, 40 Days for Life, and Pro-Life Partners Foundation have cooked up something very special. I hope you can join us in Washington, D.C. on Saturday, June 24th at the Lincoln Memorial for National Celebrate Life Day and our rally as we unleash a new dream for the pro-life generation. After the rally, we're going to be having a gala that night. That's not a fundraising gala. It's not like a dinner you've ever had, where we're going to be honoring the past heroes of the pro-life movement that ensured we got to the moment where Roe was reversed, as well as honoring those who are going to be leading our pro-life movement into this next era where we finally abolish abortion. So make sure you register now. Register now for the free rally and get your lanyard so you can get in. All you have to do is go to nationalcelebratelifeday.com and register. We'll mail you your lanyard so you can get in to the Lincoln Memorial Rally on Saturday, June 24th. And then if you can choose to stay with us, sign up that night for the evening Celebration of Life Gala. I hope to see you in Washington, D.C. on Saturday, June 24th.